Yeah, I know Unity old input system sucks. And even if you code it correctly for keyboards, you won't know how to code for something like a joystick. Luckily, Unity already has a solution for that, and that is the new Unity input system. There are 3 steps we need to do to explore this new feature. So let's buckle up and explore it. For the first step, we have to go to Window and then Package Manager. This brings you to this window. Now we have to switch the packages to Unity Registry so we can see all the package available. Now choose the package named Input System and then install it. Okay, done. Don't worry, stay here, don't go anywhere. Usually these kind of error will disappear after some settings, so let's do that. Now go to Edit, Project Setting, and then Player. Scroll down to Other Settings, and then set the Active Input Handling to both. Well, you also can choose the new one, but I recommend you to choose both in case you still want to use the old system for some application. Oh yeah, I accidentally closed Unity. I'm so stupid. I'm back. Okay, I have no choice but to use a secret forbidden technique.
2,000 years later.
Got him!
Now with the new Unity input system installed, we can create a new input action. Let's name it Basics. After you clicked on the action, you will get this. And it is called an action map. You can create an action map, which is like a folder, and then you can create some actions inside. Let's name the action maps player. And the action right here is actually something that would replace the code here. Now we have 2 actions, that is moving and jumping. I will do jumping first because it's easier. Each action has some bindings. A binding contains an action for that action, which can include using the mouse, the keyboard, or the joystick. Now you can navigate it very easily by pressing the listen button and then press the button that you want to register it here. In this example, I type space and then I will choose space from here. Down here is the interaction tab and it will detect more specifically how you interact with the button. There are 5 interactions. You can check out how they work here. I'll put the link in the description. You can also modify some of the interactions. For example, for the press action, you can modify it to be released only or press and release. And you can also modify the time it has to be held to be considered a hold interaction. If you disable the default options here, you can explore other interactions for yourself. I'll just choose the press interaction for my jump and save the asset. Now in order to make this work, you have to press on the input action here and then tick on the generate C# class. Then you have to decide where to put the file. Now let's name the class, aka the file's name. For the namespace, you don't need to put anything in that. And then finally, click apply. Now to the coding part. And I guaranteed the syntax is very easy and digestible for beginners. Okay, now let's declare a variable of the same type as the name we picked for the input action before, and let's call it input. Now when the game starts, we want to access the action, and the action is actually in the same directory as before. And because C# syntax is easy, we have to add the dot performed at the end of this. Well, there are also some other callbacks you can use that I don't see a point of existing. Okay, now, and because Unity wants to make their syntax as easy as possible, we have to write this. Yeah, and now we have to invoke the function we want to call. I'll declare it down here, and then invoke it. Now we can carry out the physics functions to make our player jump here. Okay, now we have to set the input so it gets the right components. When I'm filming the video, I forgot that we actually have to put this on the awake function, so sorry about that. The last thing we have to add, that is the on enable and the on disable on this thing. When we run the game, it will look like this. The reason it jumps so low is that because we are setting the jump speed way too slow. And also, the character can jump on the air. We could easily fix the first problem by increasing this number. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to fix the second problem though. And if you want to have a more realistic effect, you can write force mode to the .impulse here. Now the player jumps nicely. Now the new input system is not only about buttons, you can also add axes inside here. And let's call it move. Now let's assign the positive axis for the right arrow button and the negative axis for the left arrow button. Well, because in an object transform, a positive number means going to the right and a negative number means going to the left. Now this one works a bit differently from the jumping mechanism. Firstly, I will change this into fixed update for some complex reason I will not cover in this video. Now we have to declare a variable to store the information of the player inputs. And that information is equal to this. Now we can use the information of the direction to move the player accordingly. You can decide how fast the player moves by declaring another variable, as well as customizing other parameters.
Nice.
That's it for today. Hope you like my video. If you like my contents, please consider subscribing. And if you subscribed, please don't press that button again. Thank you.